Join us for a fun 2-day jaunt as we zigzag back and forth across the Mississippi. Our journey begins in Savannah, Illinois. From there, we cross the Mississippi into Iowa and check out the towns of Bellevue, St. Donatus, and Dubuque. Then we slip back across the Mississippi again into Wisconsin this time, and we take a peek at the towns of Dickeyville and Prairie Du Chien, where we spend the night at a fun and unique hotel. The next morning, it's over to McGregor for a fun hike at Pikes Peak and a look at the cute little town of McGregor. Then we slip back across the Mississippi again, this time heading north up to La Crosse, Wisconsin, which is a really neat city. We spend a few hours checking that out before going back across the Mississippi one last time, and this time heading west, where our journey ends in Rochester, Minnesota.
Hi, we're CNC.
And in 2020, we took a road trip through the Midwest and fell in love with it.
So we sold our home and traded the West Coast life for the Midwest life. And now we're on a mission to show the world
The fun people
places
and exciting events that make up the corn-fed life.
Save me a piece of that corn.
Oh, wow, look at these ice cream cookies. Savannah, Iowa, or Illinois. There's even a town called Oregon. So when we said that we're from Oregon, she didn't think it was a big deal.
There's swamp on all sides of us.
Yeah.
So we stopped here in the lovely town of Bellevue at the recommendation of a lady from the antique store.
Gail.
And we're here on the banks of the Mississippi. And we're going to have us a little picnic. Picnic with poles.
Sandwiches.
We got our sandwiches left over from lunch. And some chips. And a drink from Casey's. Picnic time.
Yay.
We have a most beautiful river walk here. And a most beautiful lady.
Lady.
with the pampas grass that they apparently bleach white.
And feel it too. Feel it. It's really soft.
Woo! I've never seen it this white. It's like glowing white.
These reeds that look like pampas grass, but they're not. And the seeds are really, really soft. It feels like alpaca.
Now we're gonna head down to the Mississippi beach. All right.
Yeah.
Show me how it's done.
Okay, hopefully I can do that. Nope.
Nope. She's no good at skipping.
One skip.
Yeah.
And we came upon this beautiful church. It's St. Donatus Church. I guess that's the vicarage. So beautiful. And then you see that their competition is on the hillside over here.
And that would be St. John's Lutheran Church. Also, I later discovered that the pronunciation of this place is St. Donatus. And a fun fact is that everybody in this little town has roots going back to Luxembourg, the little tiny European country. And the language is still readily spoken here. And I understand you can get some really tasty Luxembourgish food.
And this was built, St. Donatus Church, in 1848. Long time ago.
Cruising down the road here in Wisconsin, and we found this town of Dickeyville, and they have this interesting thing called the Grotto.
This is a really unique and eclectic landmark built by Father Matthias Wernerus, a Catholic priest, back in the early 1900s. Check out the other video that we made dedicated just to this neat landmark.
So where are we going now?
Right on Oak Street, then turn left.
We're going to the Prairie Du Chien,
What does that mean, do you know?
the prairie of dog
Yeah.
or something.
Okay, so on our trip we were heading north, and we wound up at a little town called Prairie Du Chien, and we just booked a hotel online, not really knowing much about it, and it's called Country Inn and Suites. And if you end up here, you have got to stay here. They have the most amazing thing, which we didn't even know when we booked it online. It's called Barefoot Bay Indoor Water Park.
What? Look at what is in our hotel. A whole water park with a water slide and everything.
And it is awesome. It's obviously it's inside a hotel, so it's not like a full-blown water park, but we were really amazed, and we'll show you some shots now of what it was like. And just a fun time we had, and for the price it was amazing. We got it for less than $80 online. I think their normal price might be a little more, but anyway, so definitely if you're anywhere near Prairie Du Chien looking for a place to stay, and especially if you've got kids, or if you are a couple of kids like us, you definitely want to check this place out.
Unfortunately, the biggest water slide was closed, but I'm sure that would have been a blast as well. The next morning, we got up and headed out to McGregor, which is an adorable little town just across the river in Iowa. And McGregor is just an adorable little place. It's got that old-timey downtown feel with all the old brick buildings and lots of fun little shops and restaurants and things to see and do. You could easily spend a day here just wandering the streets and checking everything out. And just a little fun fact, the town of McGregor was named after Alexander McGregor. Originally it was called McGregor's Landing. And this Alexander McGregor was a descendant of Rob Roy McGregor. He was a famous Scot, and they made a movie about him a few years ago, starring Liam Neeson, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, a little bit of history there. And one thing you have to do if you're in McGregor is go check out Pikes Peak. And Pikes Peak is just outside of town, just a few miles, and it's on a beautiful bluff overlooking the Mississippi River Valley, and you'll get some of the best views of the Mississippi anywhere, because it's just a gorgeous view. And it's actually named after the same Pike, which was Lieutenant Zebulon Pike, that the famed Pikes Peak in Colorado was named after. So apparently they like to name tall places after this guy. Maybe he was a big guy, I don't know. This is nowhere near as tall as Pikes Peak, Colorado, but for Iowa, it's a pretty tall peak, and there's lots of hiking and biking trails up there. So when you're done looking at the town, definitely head up there for some hiking and biking, and just a really enjoyable time we had here. And then when we headed back to the town, one awesome thing we found was a Mexican restaurant that served one of my favorite cuisines, which is Peruvian cuisine. And here's a little taste of it for you.
Okay, so we're in McGregor, Iowa, and we stopped at a little Mexican restaurant, and I was happy to discover that they have one of my favorite Peruvian dishes, lomo saltado. And this is kind of funny because I've had lomo saltado many times, and I've never had it served with beans and rice because that's a Mexican thing. But I guess if you get it at a Mexican restaurant, and you get beans and rice and tortillas. So it's kind of fun. We'll see if it's good. Hopefully it's delicious.
Okay, so we're coming out of Dubuque, or Dubuque, or however
We're heading into it.
however you want to say it. And this was the first establishment by a European in Iowa. And I guess he was associated with Spain. There was a governor in Florida, a Spanish governor, and he allotted this land to Dubuque, and he ended up making a bunch of lead mines here in this area, and they're forevermore known as the Mines of Spain here in Iowa. Or is this Wisconsin?
That's Iowa.
Okay. Here is the glorious town of Dubuque.
Dubuque.
Dubuque. I like to say it that way the
Dubuque.
best.
Actually, it would be Dubuque if it's Spanish.
Oh, how lovely! It's so pretty. Look at all those buildings with the spires. It must be their Capitol building.
The boots with the fur.
Wow, this place is beautiful.
There's a pretty little riverboat you're about to see. Cute.
Oh, riverboat.
And they got a Wendy's.
Mississippi Queen, right there. Wendy's, sides of civilization. Arby's! Ah!
Oh, my dearest Arby's.
Look at that beautiful building. That must be their capital, or courthouse, or what have you.
I'll tell you what have I.
a schnoz and his thumbs up.
Buildings. Look, there's some dude. Is that Dubuque?
I bet so.
Oh, he's Julian Dubuque. But I guess he's French.
Yeah. It's working for the Spaniards. What's up with that?
Oh, is this place? Look at this place is open. Look at the funky lighting. No, it looks like it's not. Sunshine Family Restaurant.
Turn right on Main Street, then turn right.
There's the Mississippi!
MISSISSIPPI.
There's the North Mississippi and the South Mississippi.
Look at that train. Sit there.
And then we're coming into another state.
We don't even know what state we're going to.
It looks like Wisconsin.
Wisconsin! We're in Wisconsin.
How come Wisconsin doesn't have a welcome sign?
And they black out all their stuff there too. Like nothing going on here. Move along. They'll probably have a welcome sign up here.
I don't know. We want our welcome, Wisconsin. Oh, there we go.
It's a very lovely one.
Yeah.
Wisconsin welcomes you. Tony Evers, Governor. My name is Tony. We're at this cute little place called Schubes Neighborhood Butcher in La Crosse, Wisconsin. So when in Wisconsin, what do you got to do?
Try some cheese. And so she said that this was a Red Rock cheese and a kind of fancy type of bologna.
I think that was this.
Was that? Okay. And then this was like a spreadable
Something or other.
ham. And then a kind of sweet coleslaw. And I didn't catch what kind of cheese this was. It was some
Like Red
fancy name
Rock
like
or something? Oh.
No, this was the Red Rock
And,
cheddar.
oh, she said something was called andouille.
Oh, okay, so maybe that's it. Andouille. And then some homemade jam and some, what type of almonds are those? Marconi or what did they
One
call
of those
them?
ones I got. I think they're Marconi.
Okay.
Remember I bought those Spanish ones? There was two different types.
well-
One of them was Marcona.
Marcona, okay.
And then
These are
what
not
was it?
radio almonds, they are Marcona almonds.
And then we got, looks like a little cute little loaf of bread. Here, open that bread. Show us the little loaf.
I'll just split the bag.
Well, show us the little loaf. Oh, that's
It
cute.
looks like ciabatta.
All right, let's dig in. Before we left the fun butcher cheese shop, we tried this. This is a local soda from Driftless, Wisconsin called Wisco Pop Strawberry Soda. And this is pretty awesome. It's actually made with organic strawberries, organic lemons, and cane sugar. And it is delicious. So if you're ever in Wisconsin or anywhere that serves this, you got to try this. This is really good.
Then spit it out. Go.
Also, when you're in La Crosse, you can come visit King Gambrinus, who's apparently the patron saint and guardian of beer. The house of Helaman. And this is the great king standing on, of course, a keg. So there you go. Here's little Corinne. And this is nice in La Crosse. They have a lovely river walk along the Mississippi. Tell us about it.
They have a stage.
Oh, they got these little children.
They have a bridge.
Lovely.
They got plants.
But this is a really lovely walk here. So anyway, just a few things you can do here in La Crosse.
We are leaving Wisconsin.
I'm leaving Wisconsin.
Go Moss, Wisconsin. We're going over this giant bridge into Minnesota. Woo!
That's the lightning.
Lots of lightning to greet us.
Minnesota
to welcome
is
us
a
to
severe
Minnesota.
place.
And when Corinne said that Minnesota was a severe place, weather-wise, she wasn't joking. You'll see as we cross the bridge here, we're going to come into Minnesota, and the rain just starts coming down in sheets. And, of course, lots of fun lightning as well. So we're going to go ahead and cut ahead to that and show you a little scene. This is just across the bridge. So right when we crossed the bridge, it just started a torrential downpour. Here you go. And you can see some cars just pulled off the road because you can barely see out of your window. And here I'll give you a little taste of what it sounded like from inside the cab of the truck.
Some insane rain.
Welcome to Minnesota, land of the torrential downpour.
So we stopped in Rochester, Minnesota.
And we're cold.
Look at that pretty building there. And supposedly there's a sushi place open till 10. So we're hoping to get some yummy sushi. It's been a long time.
So we're here at Crave in Rochester, Minnesota, and you can get really yummy sushi in the Midwest. So what we got was the Crave veggie roll, and then we got the crunchy roll, and the classic California roll. That's all.
Just kidding. So check out this candle.
Little bitty candle.
That's awesome.
That's a real Roman candle.
Does she blow it out or?
No, don't blow it off. Turn your eyebrows off. It'll go off.
That's awesome.
Thanks for joining us on our fun little adventure through 4 different states and many different little towns and cities. We'll send you off with this lovely picture of Corinne at Pikes Peak overlooking the beautiful Mississippi River.